Chocks and Chocolates, now in between Chocolate Birds here for another video review. It's another Easter special. Yes, it's the Moser Roth Dark Chocolate Lovers Duo Egg. Yeah, so we've done the White Chocolate Lovers and the Milk Chocolate Lovers, and now the Dark Chocolate Lovers. So there's last in the three, basically. Yes, there we go. So what does it say? 71% dark Ecuadorian chocolate paired with dark Belgian chocolate laced with pink Himalayan salt and cocoa nibs. Yeah, so yeah, very interesting, very similar to the milk chocolate one, but doesn't have the caramel in it basically. So interesting. I wish they had perhaps have done the caramel. I think that would have been quite a good, yeah, I think a good way to do it. But nonetheless, they got the saltedness in there, so it's an interesting one, that one. Don't normally have salted dark chocolate, I don't think so. Pink Himalayan salt it says as well, which is interesting. Okay, laced with it. It's got a pink decoration there. So yeah. So anything else of interest? Well, it's got the. You notice it says plastic free there, and it's got this presumably plastic thing there, but plastic free wood fibre window. Yeah. So we continue to reduce the plastic we use. This pack uses a wood fibre window. So after enjoying this luxurious treat, you can put the whole box into your paper mix recycling. Very good, isn't it? I mean, it feels and sounds and looks just like regular plastic. So very good. Yeah, all for it. I like where they've got the old Moser Roth sort of Aldi barcode going on there. You know, it's just very much fit for purpose. You know, you can easily scan it. Well, I like that. I like it. And say no all this trying to find how to scan it at the supermarket. You know, so yeah, good. And what else we got? So on the back, well, Dark Chocolate Lovers Duo Egg. A hollow dark chocolate egg decorated with cocoa nibs and salt, and hollow dark Ecuadorian 71% chocolate egg. I like the way 71% rather than 70. I feel like it's done that to. I feel like they've done that to make it stand out a bit. You know, just a bit like in with cars when they sell a car for $39999 or whatever it is, rather than 4,000. You know, just make it look a bit cheaper. I feel like they've done that to make it look a bit more interesting, being 71% rather than 70. Did it with the milk chocolate one as well, where I think it was 51%, well, 41% or 31%, something like that. Anyway, they had the one on it anyway, basically. So it's 50-50. So one half is obviously the milk dark chocolate with cocoa nibs, pink Himalayan salt, and pink brush, 50%, and the other half is Ecuadorian dark chocolate, 50%. And then that one, that's all basically 100% is Ecuadorian dark chocolate. And this one here is 97% Belgian dark chocolate with 2.5% cocoa nibs and 0.3% salt, leaving a 0.2 left, which is probably lost surrounding. 400 grams, 577 calories, 41.3 grams of fat, 25.5 of which are saturates. That's quite high on the most chocolate things. Tend to be between 500 and 550 most chocolate bars and things, but these more high-end special products tend to be above that, really. This is dark chocolate as well. Per serving, 25 grams, 144 calories, 10.3 grams of fat, 6.4 of which are saturates. This pack contains approximately 12 servings. It's between 11 and 12 because it's 290 gram egg. 25 doesn't go into 290. 10 gram difference. So yeah, it's just under 12 servings basically of 25 grams. There you go. So there we go. So I've not noticed this, but fair trade cocoa. Well, it's not in the other ones. Fair trade cocoa may be mixed with non-certified cocoa on a mass balance basis. So there you go. So even though it's labelled as fair trade, I mean basically they just they've basically, I mean, it's one of those, I don't know. They basically bought so much cocoa, whatever, and mixed it with the rest of the cocoa, so they can't tell for sure what's in this pack and what isn't. It's kind of the gist of what that basically means. So there could be a mix in here. But why they do that, I don't know. Because obviously it does mean that they are using non-fair trade cocoa, well, non-certified at least, which I assume means non-fair trade. So why are they still using that non-certified? What does that mean? How does that mean that this is fair trade? And why are they using non-certified cocoa? So I'd always look into it. I'd find out what it means exactly. Because to me, at the bottom line is there's non-certified cocoa in there, which I assume means non-fair trade. So why are they using non-fair trade cocoa? That's the question, isn't it? Or non-certified. Why are they doing that? So, you know, interesting. Yeah, all right. But it could just mean that it could mean a number of things. As I say, I'd always look into it, read up what it means, because to me that sounds a bit dubious, to say the least. All right, so I think it looks very nice, but I think we need to get into it, don't we? You can see a nice reflection of what's going on there, the camera there, and the tripod, and the PC and stuff like that. Well, the monitor at least. But yeah, I think we need to open this and give it a look, and I say there you go, that's a better shot of it there. It's not got the reflection. You see the lamp above there now. The bulb looks very dark there, but it's not that dark. It's a normal bulb, but looks black. Anyway, all right, let's give it an open. Find out more. Okay, everyone, going to give this Moser off Dark Chocolate Lovers Duo Egg an open. Hard for you to see the name there. There it is on its side. Apologies for that. I just can't get it quite. Oh, there we go. Dark Chocolate Lovers Duo Egg. There we go. Going to give this an open then. So, yeah, very interesting one. Very interesting indeed. Yes, I've not got my trusty regular knife to hand. I've got my box opening knife here. The one's disappeared. I think it's in the wash. So give it a cut on the sellotape there. Sticky tapes. There we go. This is a time recording. I've done about we've done over 900 reviews, Bill. Over 900, crikey. Yes, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. In the top right hand corner, I'll put a link to a place to all my other reviews, as well as some related ones, Easter ones, dark chocolate ones, things like this. So yeah, maybe even Aldi ones. Yeah, so most are off. So after you watch this one, go check those out. Hopefully enjoy those too. You can see there the tops of the extras to keep them in place, the tips of the iceberg, I think you'd say, or the chopberg, as my trademarked expression is. It's not trademarked. All right, so let's take these out. Ooh, a very strong dark chocolate smell coming from these. There we go. So they do look a bit like a posh air freshener, I think you would say, or semi-posh. Bit of damage on these ones where they scrape together a bit, but overall not too bad. I said, I do like the way they've got a decoration on one half, so you could tell the difference. You know which one's which. That's important. It's only on one half though, which is a bit of a shame. One side rather. One half, yeah. But yeah, look very nice these. Nice, very nice dark chocolate smell coming from them. You definitely would know it's dark chocolate from the smell. Chocolate on my hands now. So which was which? I'm sure it tells you that. I think the pink one is the Belgian one. I think. Dark chocolate with cocoa nibs, pink Himalayan salt, and a pink brush. Okay, Belgian dark chocolate nibs 75%. So I think this is the Belgian dark chocolate one basically. And Ecuadorian dark chocolate one's this one. Other than the milk chocolate one, you had a Ghanaian milk chocolate, and that was the one without the decoration on as well. And the other one had salt in it as well, actually, and caramel. So it doesn't have caramel in this, which is a shame. I think it'd be really good if it did have caramel in it. But there we go. All right, so let's we'll give it a rough measure here. It's not going to be too accurate or too meaningful, really, but we'll do it. Okay, 6. Well, it does change there. 6.8 centimeters there, pretty much the width there. The width on this bit here, it's a bit thinner. About 3.1. And the other one is not quite as thin at this point, 4.4. The widest point, about 5.9, 6 centimeters. Okay. We'll try and measure roughly the length. It's going to be a bit difficult, but we'll try and do it. So this is the Ghanaian one, the non-decorated one. About 20.5 centimeters. I think this one will be roughly the same. It's maybe a bit longer actually. Maybe slightly longer, 20.5, 20.6. Alright, so yeah, I think it's a shame really, but we probably need to give these a snap. So I like the decoration on them now. You can see it's got all these, like the others in the series, it's got these like triangle effects here. I like that a lot. It's not just smooth, it's all quite abstract shapes. I'll say abstract, I'm not sure if it's an abstract shape at all really, but you know what I mean. It's quite a modern design anyway. I like that, like a modern sort of skyscraper. I quite like the way again as it fits together. I think it's nice. Let's say reminiscent of an egg. It's a bit of abstract shape. There's a bit of a yellow reflection on the tip of one of these. My top I'm in yellow today, so that's what that is. I thought it was the gold from the decoration of the other one yesterday. The other one had a gold decoration, but it wasn't. I think this looks quite nice brush effect there. I think it's quite simple but effective. All right, so let's see if we can snap into the others. Basically, the first one the white chocolate one was very thin at the top, but the milk chocolate one was quite thick. So let's see what this one is. Somewhere in between, maybe. All right, quite thin. Okay, there we go. So you can see the cocoa nibs sticking out there. It's very nice. Yeah, smells lovely. I'll say quite a nice dark chocolate smell. You know, yeah, very nice. Perhaps make a horn effect. Let's see. sort of. It's not quite the sort of hornier shape as the last one. Let's give this one a bit of a break as well. Hopefully it won't go everywhere. Let's see. Oh, wow. That one's a lot thicker. You see this one's a bit more like it. It's broke. Maybe it could be the way I opened the other one, of course, but it's it definitely just didn't collapse as I tried to snap it. And this one definitely could use that as a little cup. There's a horn as well. Hello, hello. All right, well, just me, maybe, just me. All right, so interesting. Yeah, so this one definitely got your little lumpy bits in from the cocoa nibs. And this one just straight dark chocolate. So yeah, interesting. Both quite strong dark chocolate though. So it'll be interesting to see whether there's any difference other than just really the cocoa nibs and the saltiness. But that might be hard to discern any difference anyway because of those. So yeah. All right, let's lift myself up, give them a taste. Let's do it. Very excited for these. Let's give them a taste. Okay, everyone, give this Musserov Dark Chocolate Lovers Duo Egg a taste. It's not in the box anymore, as you can see, but we're going to give it a go. So it's basically, well, a new box back. It's a 71% dark Ecuadorian chocolate paired with dark Belgian chocolate laced with pink Himalayan salt and cocoa nibs. So the Belgian chocolate basically has Himalayan salt and cocoa nibs in, the new one doesn't. It's strange actually. It doesn't say 70% dark chocolate for the Belgian one, but the Belgian one is 70%, while the Ecuadorian one is 71%. And it does tell you on the back somewhere. Here it is at the bottom. There you go. Belgian dark chocolate contains cocoa solids 70% minimum. Ecuadorian dark chocolate contains cocoa solids 71% minimum. So there we go. All right, let's give these a taste. So we'll start with the regular Ecuadorian one. Was it Ecuadorian one? Yes. So the Ghanaian one because the milk chocolate was Ghanaian. Let's have a look. Yeah, Ecuadorian. Okay. All right. So I might also get a bit from that. Okay, so yes, it's got a bit. Strange how it's broken off there. It's kind of broken off with a bit of an air pocket or something there. Interesting. All right, well, this is the let's say the Ecuadorian one, dark chocolate. Let's give it a go. Very yeah, wow, very rich dark chocolate, as you'd probably expect. 71%, crikey. It does suck all the moisture out of your mouth. It's quite dry. Quite rich as well, as you'd imagine. It's quite dry. It's quite to eat it. It's quite. It does melt in the mouth. It's not like dry to that extent, but it dries your mouth out. You know. Yeah. It really does. So when you eat it, as I say, it does melt. It's not powdery like you might expect it to be. You know, like some other dark chocolates can be. But yeah, it's just the effect of your mouth. It really dries your mouth out. You need a drink with it, really, like a coffee or something, probably. Which is probably what you would want, really. So got a bit of a probably how you should enjoy it, really, with a nice coffee. Not too bad. I think for me, the problem with a lot of dark chocolates when you get to this sort of range, this sort of cocoa solid. I keep forgetting if that's the right term. Yeah, cocoa. I'm sure it's cocoa solids, isn't it? Yeah, cocoa solid sort of amount. They're all quite similar, really. They're all very dry. You know, when you eat them, and this one, as I say, is not very powdery though, so that does have a benefit. So it's a bit different in that respect. I do feel like it does still melt in the mouth. I don't feel like I'm eating. I feel like I'm still eating something that you would say. It's a nice chocolate. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not powdery. It melts in the mouth. It doesn't just, you know, behaves more like a sort of a milk chocolate or a sort of less higher cocoa solid chocolate, dark chocolate than this one does. You know, it melts in the mouth. It's not too powdery, but it does absorb all the moisture in your mouth. It's just that it's dry in another respect. So not too bad actually. Yeah, it's not bad. I think. You know, it's basically a dark chocolate. You know, if you love dark chocolate, you'll like this. You know what I mean? There's nothing in it. Well, you'll love this, I guess. There's nothing in it though that's remarkable, other than the fact that I think it's still quite. Let's say quite sort of. It does melt in the mouth still, but it does, as I say, absorb all the moisture from your mouth. And you feel like you need a drink afterwards, and I feel like I do now still again after other bit. So you know, but. There's nothing in it other than that really to differentiate it between other dark chocolates, but it is nice. It's nice. I think for me that actual particular one is between a 3. It's probably about 3.5 out of 5. I think it's a nice dark chocolate. But I think I prefer less less potent cocoa solids. I prefer sort of about between. Well, it can depend, but roughly between 40 and 60 basically. Usually in the 50s really for me, 40s and 50s. I think below 60 basically rather than actually, yeah. So exclusive between 40 and 60, exclusive of the 60 really. So in your 50s and your 40s for me. Maybe 30s as well. So I much prefer the lower strength, but 40 and 50 seems to be the sweet spot. All right, let's try the other one then. That's the Belgian one this time, the Belgian dark chocolate. And this one's got pink Himalayan salt in it and cocoa nibs and a pink brush. All right, so let's have a see then, shall we? Let's have a see. All right, so we've got a good segment here. It's got the pink brush on it. Seems to have some knobbly bits in as well. All right, so let's give it a go. So this one's 70% dark chocolate, so it's still potent. The addition of salt might be too much, bearing in mind that the other one drew all the moisture out of your mouth. Surely adding salt's going to be not going to help. Bit of a crunch in. This one definitely tastes smoother than the other one. I feel like it's not quite as dry. Yeah, it's probably a bit nicer, this one for me. It's a bit less. It's not as rich as the other one, not as dry. The salt in it kind of gives a bit of a tang actually. Which is odd. You'd think it would just be salty, but it's a bit more of a tang. I'm not really getting that much of a salty taste as such. Interesting salty taste actually. It's not like regular salt at all. I don't know if it's because of the salt itself or the combination of that with the dark chocolate. I'm not sure. Not bad. Interesting. Cocoa nibs just had a bit of a crunch. I'm not really getting much of a flavour from the cocoa nibs. You can imagine that they might taste a bit cocoa-y, but I say the chocolate itself is quite cocoa-y. So this one for me, it's definitely really, as you'd imagine, very much for dark chocolate lovers. I mean, it's called the dark chocolate lover's egg. So very much for those kind of people, very much for people who love dark chocolate. I mean, which is no surprise, and I can't really hold it against it. Very dark chocolatey. I would have liked it if it had a bit more about it. I mean, like the milk chocolate one had with the salt in, had also caramel pieces in there. I'd like it if they had like just a plain dark chocolate one, like the Ecuadorian dark chocolate, and the other one had a bit more in it other than just salt. Maybe even not just too typically, not just like your raspberry or orange flavoured sort of crunchy bits in, which tend to be a bit normal. I would have liked if it had the caramel pieces, so it had like salted caramelness to it. I think that would have been really interesting. You could argue, well, that wouldn't be very dark chocolate like, but I mean, it would have been interesting. I don't know why I didn't do it really when he did it with the other one. So I think the nicest dark chocolate. It's the two stronger dark chocolate for me. But they're clearly all in on the dark chocolate, and I think 70% is, I think at the high end of the range. I think any higher than 70-odd%, and it's just not that pleasant for me. I think 70 is bordering on just about tolerable for me, so bear that in mind. But I think the Ghanaian one's a bit too normal for me, a bit too typical 70% dark chocolate, just quite rich and strong. It's not. I like the way it's not too. I like the way it melts in the mouth still. It's not too powdery, but it just does seem to absorb all the moisture from your mouth when you eat it. This one, despite the saltiness, this is the Belgian one, with the cocoa nibs and the Himalayan pink salt. Despite the salt in it, doesn't seem to dry your mouth out as much. It feels a bit more. It tastes a bit more. What's the word? Sort of silky. It tastes a bit more. It melts in the mouth a bit more really, and it's a bit less dry. A bit more smooth. A bit more Belgian, I guess you'd say. Not too bad. And I feel like the salt has a bit of a tang to it rather than a dryness to it, rather than the saltiness to it. I don't know why that is. If it's the type of salt or it's just the way it works with the dark chocolate, I don't know. But I feel like I would have liked it if it was something a bit more exciting, you know, like a bit, as I was saying, not just like the regular, like I said before, not just like the orange or the raspberry sort of flavours you get in some of these dark chocolates. Like, as I say, a sort of caramel flavour, which you don't often get in dark chocolate for some reason. You know, like those sort of crunchy caramel pieces that were present in the milk chocolate lover's egg, you know. So it seems a bit of a missed opportunity that to do something a bit different. Nonetheless, I do quite like this. I think it's a nice egg. I think it's really for dark chocolate lovers, though, as you'd imagine. I think that's fair enough. It's quite thick as well in places. You can see the egg is, this one's the Himalayan, this one's the Belgian one. Quite bit of thickness to it there. And I say the Ecuadorian one's quite thick as well. It was a bit thinner at the top, but you know, not too bad. And you can see here, again, this is the Belgian one. You can see all the lumpy bits in there as well, lumpy chocolate. So the cocoa nibs, so not too bad at all. Yeah, as I say, I think for most people who are not massive dark chocolate lovers, but like dark chocolate when it's not quite as extreme, I think this is probably a 3.5 out of 5. But I think for everyone else who really is a dark chocolate lover, I think it's a good 4. Don't think quite say a 4.5. But I say if you just like your pure dark chocolate and quite strong, I think, you know, clearly this is going to be, there's nothing wrong with this view, so it's going to be a 5 out of 5. But I think generally speaking, I think for me, I mean, it's nothing too, as I say, exciting about it. I wish they would have done a bit more to it. I mean, I guess I don't mind having one half of the egg just being pure dark chocolate. I mean, that's fine. But I wish they'd done more with the other half. I wish they'd have put more, done something a bit more unique with it, like they did with the milk chocolate when they had this sort of, you know, nothing too extravagant, but they had the caramel pieces in there and the salt as well, so made like a salted caramel one. I wish they kind of done that with this one as well, and I think it would have. Might have seemed lazy on the face of it because it would have just been the same as the milk chocolate one, but dark chocolate. But I think it would have worked really well and would have been really interesting. You don't often get caramel with dark chocolate. Not too often, yeah, not very often. I don't think I rarely see it anyway. So I think it would have been, you know, especially in these sort of chocolates anyway. So I think it would have been very interesting, really. Even if it was common, still would have been good to have. I say salty caramel dark chocolate, but they didn't. So I think for me it's a 4 out of 5. I think it's really nice, really good for dark chocolate lovers. As I say, I don't think it's anything here that's going to blow your socks off, but it certainly does the job. And anyone who's into dark chocolate would be very happy with this. I just wish it was a bit more. I wish they'd sort of done a bit more. Something a bit different with it rather than just, you know, what they did. Maybe they just think, well, dark chocolate lovers like dark chocolate and this is what you'd be getting it for basically just an unadulterated dark chocolate experience. And they've kind of put something slightly into the Belgian one to make it have something there but still not rock the boat too much. So I can kind of understand it, but I think you've got the opportunity. You've got one half that could just be literally unadulterated dark chocolate, which they've done, and the other half you can go to town a bit more with it, and more so than they've done. I think they could have been a bit more daring with this one. Yeah. So as a result, it's only a 4 out of 5, but it's still nice. It's still a good score. Yeah. It's a good dark chocolate offering and a good dark chocolate egg, and definitely for dark chocolate lovers. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube member program. Go to support the channel. It really is. Link for that's in the description, as is the link for the Discord server, which is a great way to keep in touch with myself and be part of the community. And leave a like, leave a comment as well. Always great to hear from you, and always do my best to reply. Have a great day as well, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.